do the introduction.
Welcome to Mountaineer Kingdom Do Talk. Real men, manly talk.
Share.
Hit a button.
Share.
Pew, pew, pew.
Like, subscribe, and do the dingle dangle.
I'm trying to hear myself and I can't.
Bing! Go!
That was the one you chose.
Forgive us already. Oh, that's a good lead in. On today's episode of Mountaineer Kingdom Do Talk.
Aliens.
Aliens.
And they're coming for you.
Let's just open up with that.
That's because I have a challenge for you. So
Yes, I like that segue.
let's share with the audience what you shared in our chat.
I shared in the chat. This is so ridiculous. Somewhere in Mexico, I think, if I'm
Mexico.
right, they supposedly found 3 foot tall
3-fingered.
exoskeleton aliens
3-fingered.
that looks like someone made it out of paper mache just to fool the masses and cause hysteria and to explain away the rapture. Hit it. So I sent it to the group. I said, I can make this with paper mache. So now,
Here's the challenge. Will you make a paper mache alien?
I accept the challenge, and I will stand it up here on one of our episodes once finished.
And then we have to find some way to like donate it away or raffle it off.
Yep, I can do
No,
it.
I don't think. I think it gets set like somewhere.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's
Just,
constantly.
I'll have it in a sitting position. I'll make it with legs sitting, and we'll sit on top of the popcorn machine. Is that in the video? Can you see the popcorn machine?
oh yeah.
Unfortunately, you can see all that.
We've got a camera guy sitting right there, man.
That and we can make it like off on a shelf. Every episode it moves and it's doing
Yeah.
something different.
Yes.
Constantly moving.
Yes.
But people are going to buy it,
And we'll
think they
pretend we're
already are.
scared.
But I think
it's a real alien.
I think they're already buying into it.
Because they're... Never mind.
They're
Liberals?
prepping. They're prepping for the rapture. I'm telling you.
No, they're just gullible idiots. Said it.
Have you guys ever believed in aliens?
I believe in Bigfoot.
Illegal aliens.
You would. Illegal aliens. Oh, that's a good little segue.
They're real.
I've heard Bigfoot. Shaver's Mountain, buddy.
Yeah. Turns out it was an owl.
Yep.
You ate a 9mm bullet.
Hit it out
Probably
once.
not. We shot a few rounds in the air, but that's about it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I've always thought about that, especially within context of Christianity and design and creation. Like, there's a lot of stuff out there, man. Like, freaking, have you guys seen the James Webb telescope picture? What?
You're like freaking.
Yes.
No, I
Yeah.
haven't seen it.
So the James Webb telescope, there's a spot in the northern part of the sky that the Hubble looked at several years back, and they were like, there's a black spot up there, let's focus the Hubble on it for a while. When it came back, there's like a butt ton bazillions of freaking galaxies and stuff on it.
That's an actual measurement.
What's that convert to?
A bunghole is a real word. That's the hole that's in the side of a
I know we do this
A wine
live and no
cast.
edits, but we're
We are winging it today.
so
Anyway, so to answer that question, there were literally millions of galaxies within this itty bitty little speck of thing, and then James Webb retook the picture, and the fidelity of those galaxies, it's insane. And the fact that a galaxy has more stars and planets and all that stuff than we can imagine, the possibility seems like it could be probable, but at the same time,
Wrong.
wrong.
the stars were created for us to stand in awe of the glory of God, and I just wonder, what if God created something else that we haven't discovered yet?
Is it in here?
But I don't
The
know
answer's
that it's
no, but-
I don't know that it's extra biblical. Because not aliens necessarily, but what if there's other life? I don't know.
So I think if there's aliens out there, it's angels and demons. That's to me that's aliens.
Yep.
If we get down to it, but the fact that it seems like every week with AI, we'll go into that too a little bit. I think and aliens, it's just such a mass deception or the foundation of a mass deception. When we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, and the scientist that I listened to, now he's atheist, but his name's Brian Cox, and he's an astrologer, and he studies galaxies and stars and spaces. And I know I said something wrong. And what was it that I said, Jared?
Play the other soundbite.
Somebody's going.
Share.
Should share. There's no way. They have no evidence of it. There it is. I gotcha. You too. You're the good one.
I have no
So
clue
we
what's
have
happening.
scientists that are saying.
Wait, just give reference. Who said this again?
Oh, Brian Cox.
Okay.
So there it is. So we have. Hate that. They're saying that there's no evidence of aliens, but yet our government's saying, "Oh, here's aliens." So mass deception's coming. But speaking of aliens, there are illegal aliens. Or is that? Can we say that, or is it illegal immigrants?
This
great.
is a wash.
This is ridiculous.
This is going to be our most viewed episode yet.
Let's just hit all the
We
buttons.
just lost 5 subscribers.
No, we didn't. We gained 15.
So please share.
Share.
You'll get that on a previous episode. And subscribe. We need all the help we can get.
Boy, that's good stuff.
But I saw that they're not
I
that
didn't
one.
do that. That was Jared.
You don't touch anything. I can't believe your little arms reach out for anyways. That we're, and I'm a big fan of if the borders are going to be open, then we need to take the people that are coming in. If we're not going to make them stay on the other side, we need to bring them in and put them into these cities and these sanctuary cities so they can get a taste of what they're doing to the rest of the world or the rest of the country, and they don't like what they're getting.
No, they don't. And Texas is doing that, busing them to these large cities that were claiming to be sanctuary cities. And I just told you that I saw this morning that Cuomo from New York, he was a big advocate against Trump and all this and that and blah, blah, blah. Now it's overrunning New York City. The mayor's complaining about it like crazy now. And Cuomo actually said the words, "All Trump has to say is I told you so." And I don't know if you guys heard me say it, but it was like a year and a half ago I said that should be Trump's reelection slogan. I told you so. Because everything he said was going to happen as soon as the other one was elected, if elected, has been happening. And the open borders, I am totally for immigration legally because our country was founded by immigrants.
Yep.
But, obviously before that system was in place, we just came over and we established homes and stuff like that. But legal immigration, there are legal ports of entry. Everybody wants to complain about all these aliens or immigrants or whatever being arrested at other points of the border. Don't go to those points.
Yep.
Don't go.
Have
You
you
won't
guys
get
ever-
arrested. Go to the
You have
legal
to seek
points of entry.
asylum at a port of entry.
Have you guys ever traveled abroad?
No.
Most of the time when you travel abroad, you have to get some type of visa or
Right.
authorization to enter that country, period.
Or you're locked up.
Even more outstanding and why this is such a pressing issue is defense. Those open borders is saying, hey, we are the greatest superpower of the world, and we have the carriers and submarines and things that go boom, and we're essentially fighting a proxy war in Ukraine right now. But hey, why don't you just walk
on
through
over.
the southern border and do whatever you want to do? Not only it's
Type that up. Ukraine, money given to Ukraine in exchange.
For
anyway. So
It was a prisoner exchange.
geez, yeah, let's.
yeah, let's do that.
But the open borders, it's a security risk, and we're literally opening the door and trusting people on their merit by word, saying, "Oh yeah, we're just here to get good jobs." And dude, you're an idiot.
It's deeper than that. What country is the largest exporter of child sex trafficking?
China,
No.
America.
Mexico.
Oh.
They're coming
Exporter.
through Mexico.
What's the greatest importer of child sex trafficking? America.
America.
I mean, and we know this. And so the administration that's currently in place,
Give
I
us
won't
the
mention
list
any
of
names,
names.
pedophilia Joe.
I want the Epstein
They're
books.
letting all this happen because the open borders is allowing the flooding of exporting and importing of child sex trafficking. And it's disgusting to me that too many people can't see that. Only the right-minded people.
I'm drawing a blank on the movie, but we just went a couple weeks ago and saw it.
Sound of Freedom.
Have you seen it?
I have not, but I need to.
Excellent movie. Absolutely excellent movie.
I think part of the issue is that the left wing mentality is this faith in humans are good at nature. It's an altruistic, hopeful
We're
perspective.
so bad at it.
Right.
None of us are good.
But that's the difference. It's like, oh, all people are good and nobody's going to do harm. No, you're deceived. You have no clue what you're talking about, and clearly you have no clue what's happening anywhere else in the world.
Let's ask a question. Why was the term illegal alien ever established? What's the definition of illegal? Simplest term.
Not legal.
Not legal. Simplest term, not legal.
Wow, that's it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, people want to say, "Oh, you can't say they're illegal immigrants." Yes, I can, because they're not coming over the right way. Now, do I think our immigration process could be a quicker process? I believe it could be. You know, what is it, like 7 or 9 years before someone can become a legal citizen?
No, I served with a guy who was he was from England, and he got his U.S. citizenship.
What language did he speak?
English.
English.
How long did he get?
It took a couple years, but he had to take a test, and anybody who passed that test is smarter than most of the people in our country.
100%. I was going to say, I don't even know if I can pass that test. I'm not a test guy.
I seen a
don't do well
man
tests.
on the street the other day where they ask, like, kids in college today.
Oh, these are so sad.
When they were like, who attacked us on 9/11? And they were like, I don't know, people from like somewhere,
Yep.
and they did something to us on 9/11. I don't know. I'm going
Your
to class.
guys' voices that you can do.
Ah!
Not that one.
No.
Yeah.
Worst one.
A few minutes later.
There we go.
It was mind-boggling that these idiot kids who are in college right now have no flipping idea who
Yep.
attacked us on 9/11.
They don't have any idea about anything.
They're idiots.
There's Iraq, right? Iraqi war. Yeah, never mind. So to answer your question, we have given $75 billion in assistance to Ukraine.
Billions
How?
and billions.
Say that one more time.
$75 billion.
Billions.
But yet our gas prices are skyrocketing. Inflation is through the roof. Unemployment rate is, they claim, is down. It's because people aren't looking for jobs anymore. That's how they get those rates. How many people were calling in looking for
Okay.
jobs?
Well, we gave $2 billion to the Iranians for, was it $6 billion?
$6 billion.
For the prisoner exchange.
Well, we left almost $10 billion in weaponry when we had that disastrous pull out of Afghanistan. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you for saving that. Plus all the stimulus handouts.
What?
Like
Well, inflation is not going to happen as a result of that. People are in need, and the government's going to provide for their needs. And then we're going to pay for it for the next 10, 15, 20 years.
The other side of that inflation is paying entry-level employees $15 an hour to hit buttons on a screen.
Mm-hmm. And they still have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, because if you just do the Big Mac index just in the United States, it cost me $12 to get a Big Mac, fries, and a soda here in West Virginia, where I could go to Chili's and spend $12 for a much better quality hamburger, fries,
And
soda,
people don't see that.
and chips and salsa.
Or you can go to a local restaurant and spend $8 on a freaking delicious smash burger on Route 250. There's your plug, boys.
they're excellent, by the way.
So good.
But Jared, to your point, that's a great point, because these people need higher wages so they can live. Well, those jobs weren't created for people to have a life-sustaining lifestyle. It was meant for high school kids and things like that. So when you up that pay for those employees, the company has to make it up. So now you're right. One meal, you're right, by $13.
Yep.
Dad and
I went to Longhorn, and I got a hamburger, fries, and a house salad, and he got, I think, a steak salad, and it was $22.
Yep.
And it was delicious.
So something that I've been aware
And
of.
their wages haven't changed.
Right.
I've been aware of for a while is the fact that our entire industry base is service related.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about what we produce, the United States does not produce. We are the ultimate middleman, and our production is nothing compared to what it was 60, 70 years ago, 30 years ago even. The industrial base has died. Well, now, thank God we're on a resurgence from that. COVID actually taught us that, oh, wait, globalism is stupid. We screwed ourselves.
We need to make crap.
But there was a whistleman before that. I don't think that's the term, but there was always
A whistleblower?
Yeah, we had a guy running for president that was the president that was saying, we're not going to be globalists. This is America first, but that's a bad thing to be America first.
Wait a second.
Who was that guy? Do you know?
That was President Donald J. Trump, 45 and 47.
Do you think he gets it, or you think the left's fight is too much?
I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole, but he already got it, and they cheated him out of it. So why wouldn't they try to do it again? So it's a good segue up to COVID-19 now. COVID-19, which is a cuss word in my family household now. We don't talk about it, but isn't it ironic how it went away for about 2.5, 3 years?
And now it's coming back.
And
it's like rain on your wedding day.
It's coming. Yeah, it's ironic.
It's
like
a
10,000
free ride when you've already paid.
When all you need is a knife.
It's a little ironic. Don't you think?
But it is one. It's going to be 1 year exactly. We've seen reports. We heard about meetings from the TSA. They're saying full blown lockdowns by December, and that December will be almost 1 year to the election.
Listen, Andy.
Am I right?
You are.
1 year to the election. And when did COVID happen the first time? 1 year to what?
To the election.
Mm-hmm. So everybody gonna get scared. Everybody have to get another double vax boosty and all this stuff, and more myocarditis, more people dying, which I think is the government's plan anyway.
I just hope if this thing does come back in the way that it was, that it comes back in December, not November. I've got a big trip planned that I don't want to screw up.
Yeah. Me
I'm
too.
really liking my job too.
There's nothing that's going to come back. It's going to be an imaginary thing.
Yeah, well, imaginary perception is reality
I hate
in a
that
lot
saying,
of
but it's so true.
in a lot of areas, and I really want to go on this trip in November.
Then go.
Really want to go.
Then go.
Well,
You tell the people you have no power over me.
Until the airplane stops.
Yeah, until the airplane stops
the
flying.
Then
airplane
drive.
stops in the country.
Well,
I'm
let me ask you
going
this.
to.
Yeah, but he can't drive through the ocean.
Get a boat.
If there's a will, there's a way. Stop being
If
like
people
Andy.
from Cuba could get here, you could get somewhere. Go. Just get
It's
a
a
boat.
long. It's a long boat ride.
I don't care. Pack a lot of
Get
gas.
your
He's going to Canada.
Where there's a
Talking
will,
about
there's a way.
Oh, speaking of Canada, let's go back to illegal crossings at the border, by the way.
Jeez.
Funny story.
We
Years
all
ago, we
have
went to
ADD.
Canada.
Hey,
Getting in there, no big deal. They're like, "Hey, welcome to Canada. Come
Hey.
on in."
That's not in a Canadian
definitely
accent.
not
That's like
Canadian.
his. That's like his
Yeah. Anyways,
English or British
coming
accent.
back. This is pre-kids, and we used to play like co-ed softball league together.
Go ahead
In
in
Canada?
Canada.
No, but we happened to have
How'd
our
you know about that?
we had our crap in the trunk coming back in the United States. I don't know how these freaking Mexicans at the borders coming in illegally. Doesn't make no sense to me. Coming into Canada, U.S. Border Patrol was like, "Hey, we're gonna need you to pull off the side of the road," and I'm like, "Oh crap, what the heck did we do?" They X-rayed the car and seen the baseball bats in the back of the car. They made us empty out our car, searched us like up and down, the X-ray, the metal detectors on us. Where are you going? What's your intent? Why are you coming into the United States?
Tractor beam.
We're coming home from a trip to Niagara Falls, sir.
just want to play softball.
Well, why do you have baseball bats in your car? We played softball,
And you're an American citizen.
That's
sir.
stick to that story.
You see, America.
Americans.
How long ago was that?
15 years
15 years
Okay.
ago. And it's like, man, how have we gone from that to what it is now? Where they're just walking,
Zang.
they're just walking across the border now. Like back then, I mean, they literally, we got in the car, we were freaked out.
It's a double standard, dude.
Listen, Bill Clinton said the same exact words that President Trump said, and the left applauded him.
Yeah.
Applauded him. Anything that comes from their mouths is okay. Just like this stupid impeachment inquiry talk that the left is saying. Chuck Schumer just came out and said, we should not be impeaching a president. We should be working at a bipartisan level, blah, blah, blah. Impeachment is ridiculous. We should not be doing this. 3 years ago, we're going to impeach President Trump because blah, 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 and it doesn't matter. He's not this and he's not that. It's the double standard they live in.
You know what
Hypocrisy.
really ticks me off about that crap is
What butters your bread, buddy?
Grind your gears.
bull butters. It's that our politicians that we vote to solve problems are making more problems
Sure.
instead of focusing on the things that are a universal problem to us. Defense of the nation. Like, we're more concerned about social agendas and individual agendas than we are about the collective whole. And that example you gave us tells us that our politicians are focused on things that don't freaking matter for the people.
No.
Like,
What gets
we
them
spend,
reelected.
why in the crap are we spending all this time having the people that are part of the swamp yell at the people within the swamp without focusing on the issues? Oh, and by the way, they're sending however many bazillions of dollars to the war in Ukraine that we're not a part of, that we are a part of.
$75 billion. Just to throw that out there.
And then we're paying $6 billion to one of the people that is a very staunch enemy of ours.
5 of them. They exchanged 5 terrorists for 5 U.S. citizens and $6 billion. And this was all done behind closed doors, rushed through because they knew they would never have gotten that passed if they would have brought that up, because it's against Constitution, it's against legislative law.
Yes, and it was on 9/11, and Congress wasn't even informed until they made the press release.
On 9/11, where our president didn't even visit any of the sites that was devastated
Alaska.
22 years ago.
Yeah, he can go to Alaska, but yet East Palestine, Ohio, has still.
Oh, and they sent $700 a household to Hawaii to that fire.
Yeah, but Oprah and The Rock gonna have that covered.
This is the most ADD episode that we have
It's
had.
like we're venting about.
I think it's great because people, if people are listening that don't listen to anything else, their eyes can be open, and just research it yourself. Don't go by what we say.
Yeah.
Research it yourself, and you'll find it. You'll see that this is ridiculous
You should trust the
stuff going
government.
on. No, don't trust government.
No.
Ronald Reagan said it
So-
the best.
I don't understand the logic behind the whole Iran $6 billion hostage exchange, because you know Iran's goal was to wipe out Israel. Like, I don't see this anything other than intentionally hurting our country and hurting our allies.
Yep.
This can't be an accident.
Well, Israel was only recognized as a staunch ally, at least from the presidential seat with Uncle Don.
Sure. Well,
When we recognized the capital of Israel as Jerusalem, right?
Yeah.
It moved from Tel Aviv.
Yep.
Then
When Trump was president.
I know.
Who's the Hungarian prime minister that was just interviewed the other day, and he said the only person that could save America is
Yeah.
Donald Trump.
That's a great Canadian accent.
That's
you
not
have there.
Canadian.
It's
That's
Hungarian.
Hungarian. But he did say, he said that he said his foreign policy was on point. Basically, that's what he was saying. And if you think about it, there's all these people out there that were saying President Trump was a hothead and he was going to cause all these wars. How many wars did we have in those 4 years?
None.
Didn't we leave Afghanistan in great numbers and had more planned to come out?
That's not a good example. Don't use
well,
I'm just saying.
it was in
well,
the process,
it was
but
in the
this other
process.
guy's ignorant plan.
Yes, and then how many peace treaties did President Trump negotiate? Everybody was like, I can't believe he's going to North Korea. Why not? Why not go and try to make peace with a lunatic over there? And he's the only U.S. president to ever put his foot.
That
on
is
North
one of
Korea.
my favorite moments as an American citizen was when our president went into the DMZ, stepped over that line with no security.
With confidence.
No security. But our current president can't make it off a stage without a nurse. Come on. The image alone that to shake hands, to look over, to walk over at the DMZ, and yes, that with Kim Jong-un, who is a lunatic, murderous.
Look, guys, you don't understand the balls I have.
Listen, if I'm not mistaken, I think he just had, like a week before President Trump came to North Korea, I think he had his close family member and advisor beheaded or something.
Yeah, that's an
For
uncle.
doing
was,
I
an
vaguely
uncle.
remember that.
Just before. He just killed a guy a week ago, and here's President Trump walking in. His new nickname is Lefty and Righty, if you know what I'm saying. Crossing over North Korea.
Yeah.
You know?
But go back and watch that. It's such a powerful moment
Yep.
for Americans. I felt proud. Like, yes, this is we're a strong country under Trump.
But the
And-
left all had it twisted. I can't believe he'd go over there. Look, what does he think he's doing? He's destabilizing us. And whatever.
The thing I like about him the most, like a lot of the stuff he said, I wasn't a huge fan of, and I think he kind of allowed himself to be pulled into the weeds of these arguments. But take away any interviews and take away all the media. Just look at on paper what President Trump did, and
Under scrutiny every single day.
it's
What could he have done more? What else could he have done in those 4
Can you
years?
imagine if Joe Biden was a right-wing Republican?
Well, I was thinking about this. Let's just go and I can attack the right wing side. McConnell has no business being.
No, he's been
where he is right
He's
now.
been in freeze-up mode
Yeah,
lately.
he's been shutting down just like Joe Biden's been shutting down. I'm not afraid to say, I'm a conservative and I lean right Republican, I guess, if you want to say that. But you got to call the kettle black when it is. And McConnell, when he and pauses and
Dude.
breaks down for minutes.
there was this funny meme or video online. It's
gotta go.
when you're in a grocery store and
Andy wants to say that's why
Someone-
we need to vote libertarian.
someone that's older uses a credit card reader, and it says, "Please remove your card," and it's beeping, and it cuts back to McConnell. He's just sitting there frozen.
Yeah. Sir, remove your card.
It's like when your toddler walk over in the corner and
Yeah.
use.
And I have no room to talk. Like, if I was in politics, I would say, I need to leave.
Oh man, I'm not a Romney fan, but he did step down, and he's not running for re-election again because he's like,
I'm
the
old.
problems we're
But
facing.
guess who is? Nancy Pelosi. 84 years old, is running for re-election.
And do you know? Do you remember what she said? Why?
Hard to tell.
So in order for her to rate, the only reason she's running is money.
Money.
She said in
That was a
order
Freudian
to
slip.
raise money, you have to run for election. So in order to raise money for the Democrats, she has to be involved in the election so she can give that money away. Literally, she's running for money. She said that.
If you look at what the majority of our politicians' jobs are at the federal level, they spend all of their time raising money for their campaign.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Like, we
Well-
don't even talk about
We
like,
don't even
why
talk
is it that we have to
anymore.
have this ridiculous amount of money to even run for a campaign whenever you should be able to run on your merit alone? But no, we have to spend money and get buses and do all this stupid stuff to feed into the machine. So
How many years has she been in Congress? Anybody know?
way too long.
Too long.
I mean, seriously, like,
I'll
what
look
would
it
you
up.
say? 50 years?
It's been such a long time.
I'd say at least 40, 35.
Who can tell me what the wage is that they get paid per year?
Like 250. No,
No, it's like
174,000 times how many years?
dude, that doesn't even count the political contribution.
I know. We'll get there.
I'm just, sorry,
Let's just say 40 years. 174,000 a year for 40 years. If she didn't spend a dime of it, she'd be worth $6.9 million. This woman is worth $150 million. Tell me why.
Insider trading.
Tell me
ins-
why.
Investment.
Insider
She,
trading.
35 years.
35
Okay,
years.
so what? Insider trading, all these hand downs, cha-ching.
Doom, doom,
I'm just
doom.
saying they're
Compounded
all
interest?
running
I'm saying the same thing.
for money.
I shared I don't know if you guys have seen the video yet. Richmond, north of Richmond.
Oh, the song?
Yeah.
I heard it. Mhm.
There was another. The internet is so creative, but there was a video that they made to that, and it shows Democrats and Republicans of how many possible conflicts of interest and companies they're involved in trading in, and it just scrolls through, and that song's incredible, but it's in our own Capito here has a possible of 96 conflicts of interest, and she's
my
trading
gosh.
with over 103 different companies.
Good for
And it's like,
her.
No, we can't even get ahead because they're still playing their game, and we're getting the crumbs that's on the table.
Working all
It's a
day,
good song, dude.
overtime hours, for
Beep.
bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away.
Have you heard this?
Back home and drown
No.
my troubles away. It's a damn shame. What the
It's people finally are seeing the truth. That song resonated because people are seeing this stuff, and this guy had the brass to.
He's a dude
to
of
sing about.
integrity too.
Yeah.
There was a part where there was a show going on and they were charging like $75 a ticket and $200 for a back. He's like, no, $25 is the ideal price for tickets to my show, and this is ridiculous. So don't buy tickets from this venue right now. And they
Yep.
canceled the show at that venue.
Good.
The dude's got integrity. So I wonder, we spend all this time talking about federal politics. One, we can't really do much about it, in my opinion. We can vote them out, all that stuff. Voltaire, French philosopher guy, he says tend your own garden. And I would also argue that we have more power and authority within the sovereign state of West Virginia.
I agree.
And that's where our emphasis should be. We can do whatever the crap we want to do within the borders of this state that is part of the United States. The Constitution is like 25 pages, maybe. And the thing that gives us the authority to do what we do is the Constitution of the state of West Virginia. Those are the laws that we are actually able to affect change on. Texas does what it wants to do. We are a sovereign nation.
Texas is its
We
own
have our
world,
own.
dude.
We should be our own. I agree with you.
We are a sovereign state entity. We have our own military. The governor of this state has executive authority over a military. The economy, everything that happens within this state is underneath our control. And if we would just rise up and say, screw you, federal government, the state of whatever state you live in, I'm talking to all you people out there, change stuff within your state. Federal politics, we've lost that. Until a constitution of states, which is a legitimate a convention of states, sorry. The Constitution gives states the authority through the conventions of states to implement new federal laws and change the Constitution to implement things like term limits and all that jazz. And there's 30 out of the 35 states required. Check it out, conventionsofstates.org or some junk like that. But it's how we change things. We need to focus here. We need to focus on what we can do and maintain our own little piece of the world to say, screw you dudes, we're not going to cave into your bull crap. Because we can. So, like...
It's easy to go down the rabbit hole.
It is. But we have to... What can we do to change it? And I mentioned that Voltaire, Tend Your Own Garden. We can affect each other sitting around this table. We can affect our local community by running in local politics, by being involved in things that are happening here today, right now, where my money gets spent, where my time is spent, and the people that I cross paths with on a day-to-day basis. And when we join together at the grassroots level, you change the freaking world.
I honestly think with this new COVID crap trying to come out, I think you're going to see some states rise up and say we're not going to comply with this because it's a mandate. It's not a law. The Supreme Court
It's a
has
suggestion.
already They've already ruled against the unconstitutionality of forcing vaccines and forcing masks and all that crap. Don't comply.
Well, I want to bring up the comply thing in a minute, but
Jared had something
Jared. Yes.
So-
Yes.
Yes. So I was listening to he's a Messianic rabbi, and talking about what?
Nothing. I was going to make a joke at your expense, but keep going.
Yeah. Okay. But he was talking about how God had given him this vision of 7 mountains to attack, and he said the biggest thing that we in America, and specifically Christians, we tout revival. We got to do revival. We got to have revival. But he says we're not looking at it in the same way that the Jews look at it. The Jews look at it as they get people in high places of authority and influence change there. So if you look back to pre-1948 when the Jews were trying to get their homeland back, they were doing it grassroots, but they also had people in power.
Yeah.
And they were talking to other people in power. And so for example, with Israel, they were trying to come up with a name for it. And I think it was Eisenhower was the president at the time, and he said we're just struggling with coming up with a name for the land of Israel. And he had a friend that he had known pre-World War II that was Jewish, and he called him up. He says, "Hey, what's the name of this new land need to be?" And he says, "Well, it needs to be the biblical name of Israel." Well, what we need to do is not just in politics, but in business and education, use our influence that we have and grow in those areas to make the change that we need to make.
So what do they call it?
What do they call what?
The land of Israel.
Israel?
The land of Israel.
Israel.
My final thought on this, we'll wrap it up.
Well, they were talking about calling it Zion or
I gotcha.
Judah, things like that.
Is back to the comply comment real quick, and then I'm done with my part.
I'm done.
I'm all for not complying. I think we should fight it. But I have the thought in the back of my mind that this is the one that we don't comply. We resist it more than ever. But this is the real one. Like there's something that they've planned, a disease.
Oh yeah, they're sick.
That'll come out that'll
They're sick
actually get
people.
us this time. But
But you know what? I know where I'm going.
one-way ticket, baby. Well, I always enjoyed just diving into the randomness of politics and thoughts and how we all see it. And I think we're all pretty similar.
Jesus
Except
is
for-
just all right with me. Jesus is just all right.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Wow,
It's a
I
good
thought we
song.
needed to wrap up.
Both the original and the cover.
All right. Speaking of covers, what's the cover of that book say?
In the fullness of times.
No way.
Yes.
Tell us
right.
about it.
It's a wonderful book. My uncle is he's got his doctorate in theology, and he's put out several other books, but this is his newest book, In the Fullness of Time, and goes over the kind of the redemptive story and plan that's in the Bible. And
Keep going, Giggles.
and talks about from creation all the way until the end of the millennial reign and the new heavens and the new earth, and a lot of prophecy that's in there, things like that. So it's a great book.
Would you just look at that?
And we know there's several places they could purchase it.
Yeah, you purchase it through physical copies through Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes and Noble, through the publisher as well. But then you can also purchase ebook through Amazon Kindle and Apple iBooks.
Is there a way that maybe someone could get this free?
Yes, so we are doing a giveaway with the book. I think we've got 2 copies right now. They will be signed by Dr. Philip Richards.
And all of us.
Are you related to him?
Yes.
I am, yes, he's my uncle.
Oh.
And
He's related to Perry
so,
Stone.
no, he's not. But if you put a comment in to the comment section on the in YouTube, we'll pick the winners and get it sent out.
Excellent.
Winner, chicken dinner.
We're also going to have Dr. Phillips on, or Dr. Richards on. It's going to be great just to have a conversation with him. If you have any questions you'd like to ask, throw in the comment sections. Remember, like, subscribe, and share.
Share.
So we can get an audience that we can just educate, have manly conversations with, and share our love of Jesus.
Real man.
Men.
Take us home, Nick.
To learn more about us and to check up on everything in the Mountaineer Kingdom Dude Talk realm, make sure, Andy, hit it down there, buddy. Boom, boom,
He's going to
mkdudtalk.com
break something.
and shoot us an email. Make sure, ready? mkdudtalk@gmail.com. It's right there at the bottom. It's good stuff.
I can just walk off, right? I could just.
Oh, gosh. How could no one not like us?
For the yes man, Jared, before he leaves us, for Triple A Andy. For the guy trying.
No one annoys me on this planet more than you. You're about to run out of
That's the
oxygen.
host.
That's the host, Josh.
Andy's cracking me up,
He's something.
and I'm out of air.
like
Snake. This has been Mountaineer Kingdom Dude Talk. Real man, manly talk. I'm gonna mute us.
Please.